We're all quite accustomed to rain. Whether we're equipped with umbrellas or raincoats or simply embrace getting wet, it seldom truly disturbs us. However, what happens when the rain persists for days, causing streets to flood and trapping us indoors? Or when the realization hits that the interest rates on the home we dream of are beyond our financial reach? How do we respond when our investments nosedive in value, or when a sudden layoff leaves us without a safety net? These are the pressing challenges of modern life that confront us at every corner. They invade our thoughts at night, tormenting us with fears, and cast shadows of despair over our days. Yet, it doesn't have to be a relentless struggle. There is a way to find stability amidst the turmoil of today's world. Learning to remain resilient and grounded in the face of such trials is key. It's about embracing a Stoic mindset that empowers us to navigate life's uncertainties with grace and resilience. By adopting principles that transcend these challenges, we can discover a path to tranquility and strength in the midst of adversity. This is the essence of becoming Stoic in the modern age, a journey towards inner peace and steadfastness despite the turbulence that surrounds us. Stoicism, originating from ancient Greek philosophy, serves as a transformative path, guiding individuals from vulnerability amidst the unpredictable universe towards a state of calm indifference. It offers a method to fortify oneself, paving the way for enduring peace of mind. However, embracing Stoicism entails effort and often necessitates sacrifice, akin to any endeavor involving a shift in attitude or outlook. Central to the Stoic practice is the discernment between what lies within our control and what does not. Ultimately, our only domain of control resides in our responses to external events, rather than the events themselves. While we can exert influence over circumstances, complete mastery remains elusive. The unforeseeable and inevitable nature of misfortunes underscores this reality. Zeno of Citium, a prominent Stoic philosopher, illustrated this concept vividly with an analogy involving a dog tethered to a cart. When a dog is tied to a cart, if it wants to follow, it is pulled and follows, making its spontaneous act coincide with necessity. But if the dog does not follow, it will be compelled. So it is with men too. Even if they don't want to, they will be compelled to follow what is destined. The cart symbolizes the vast expanse of events beyond our influence, the myriad occurrences of the universe. Attached to this cart by an invisible leash, we find ourselves faced with a choice: to either stride alongside it or to resist, only to be inevitably dragged along. Embracing Stoicism means choosing to stride in harmony with the cart. Imagine yourself in a workplace scenario where your supervisor delivers the unwelcome news that the beloved espresso machine, your daily source of free coffee, is being removed. For many, this would come as a profound blow. How you react in this moment is entirely within your control. You cannot dictate the presence or absence of the machine, but you can decide your response. Will you align yourself with the cart, accepting that this change lies beyond your influence, or will you allow yourself to be dragged down by the anguish of losing your cherished perk? The ultimate goal in Stoic philosophy is the enhancement of one's inner self, emphasizing that relying solely on external factors for happiness leaves individuals vulnerable to the unpredictable whims of the universe. This universe, vast and indifferent, operates beyond our influence or manipulation. Stoic philosophers adhere to a worldview often characterized as semi-deterministic or compatibilist. They acknowledge that every event unfolds due to preceding causes, yet recognize the limits of human control over these causes. For instance, while we can decide not to yield to the temptation of indulging in cake, the emergence of such impulses lies beyond our direct command. This perspective does not advocate passivity regarding external circumstances, but underscores the importance of distinguishing between our efforts and outcomes. For instance, if we wish to repair our car, we must initiate action by scheduling a service appointment. The car will not mend itself. However, the actual repair outcome remains uncertain and beyond our absolute command. Therefore, Stoicism advises focusing on the effort we invest, as this lies within our sphere of influence. If, despite our diligent efforts, the mechanic turns out to be untrustworthy and absconds with our vehicle, Stoic philosophy encourages acceptance rather than self-blame. Such occurrences are part of the uncontrollable aspects of life, where we can only control our responses and efforts, not external events themselves. Discussing the ancient philosophy of Stoicism is not just an intellectual exercise but a call to action in our contemporary lives. Stoicism, conceived in an era spanning from slaves to the emperors of Rome, remains profoundly relevant today. Its principles offer a timeless framework for navigating the complexities of modern existence. In our materialistic world, many of us find ourselves ensnared in the pursuit of things we believe will bring us happiness. We convince ourselves that the next acquisition, a new car, the latest smartphone, or an expensive watch, holds the key to our fulfillment. Yet, when these desires remain out of reach due to financial constraints, we experience a profound sense of disappointment, as if the universe conspires against our happiness with no recourse. However, the truth Stoicism reveals is that material possessions provide only fleeting satisfaction. A new car inevitably encounters mechanical issues, and cutting-edge technology eventually succumbs to obsolescence. Even when our possessions retain their functionality, the phenomenon of hedonic adaptation sets in, leading us to yearn for the next upgrade in an endless cycle. Stoicism invites us to reconsider our attachments to material goods, emphasizing instead the cultivation of internal virtues and resilience. It encourages us to find enduring sources of joy and contentment within ourselves, independent of external circumstances. By embracing Stoic principles, we can liberate ourselves from the relentless pursuit of materialism and discover a deeper, more sustainable sense of fulfillment in our modern lives. To liberate ourselves from the ensnarement of consumerism, we must cultivate a distinct mindset concerning our purchases and the gratification derived from them. One effective approach is to embrace what the Stoics refer to as voluntary discomfort. This involves willingly subjecting oneself to discomfort in activities typically associated with pleasure or convenience. A common example is opting for a cold shower over a warm one, challenging the comfort of immediate warmth for the invigorating experience of cold water. Similarly, resisting the urge to upgrade to the latest smartphone and instead continuing to use your current one despite its flaws, enduring the inconvenience of cracks and slowdowns, can foster resilience against the constant allure of new technology. For those who find these steps daunting, starting with small changes can be beneficial. For instance, leaving your phone behind on your nightstand or desk when visiting the bathroom allows for moments of introspection rather than succumbing to mindless scrolling. During hot days, choosing to roll up the windows and forego the air conditioning while driving, or better yet, opting to walk, introduces a deliberate discomfort that strengthens resolve and reduces reliance on comfort-enhancing technologies. By embracing voluntary discomfort, we not only challenge our dependence on immediate gratification, but also cultivate a mindset that values resilience, self-discipline, and a deeper appreciation for simplicity and mindful living. Marcus Aurelius, renowned as the Emperor of Rome, distinguished himself not only through his political leadership from 161 CE until his passing in 180 CE, but also as a dedicated practitioner of Stoic philosophy. History often portrays him as a philosopher king, though this characterization may include elements of exaggeration. During his reign, Marcus Aurelius diligently recorded his meditations influenced by Stoic principles, using them as personal reflections to guide his decisions amidst the weighty responsibilities of ruling an empire. Originally intended for his own introspection rather than public consumption, these writings, now compiled in the collection known as Meditations, or alternatively as the Inner Citadel, provide profound insights into how Marcus Aurelius applied Stoicism to navigate the challenges of imperial life. Within these writings, one can discern the practical wisdom and philosophical depth with which Marcus Aurelius approached governance and personal virtue. Here are some quotes that'll help you get into the Stoic mindset. Thus we should employ the mind in all parts of life. When things occur, which, at first, seem worthy of high estimation, we should strip them naked, and view their meanness, and cast aside these pompous descriptions of them, by which they seem so glorious. Marcus Aurelius regularly engaged in contemplation regarding the essence of his meals, stripping away the sensory pleasures and instinctual gratifications they typically provided. For him, a fish was simply sustenance in the form of flesh, devoid of the usual allure of taste and satisfaction. When bringing your favorite lunch to work, he would advise deconstructing it to its fundamental elements. A salad becomes merely a composition of leaves and the fruit of plants. Croutons are essentially wheat transformed into flour, mixed with yeast to create bread, which is then sliced and toasted in an oven. This practice serves a purpose. When faced with a less desirable meal or an incorrect order from a waiter, you're less likely to be burdened by disappointment or longing for something tastier. Lunch, Marcus Aurelius would assert, is fundamentally raw materials meant to nourish and energize. Marcus Aurelius delved extensively into the dynamics of human interaction and interpretation. Adopting Stoic metaphysics, he viewed the universe as intelligently designed, with humans being integral to this cosmic intelligence. Thus, he reasoned, it was illogical to harbor animosity towards others, as they too are manifestations of the same cosmic intelligence inherent in oneself. This concept resonates akin to the Hindu notion of Brahman, the universal essence that permeates all existence. I cannot be angry at my kinsmen or hate them. We were naturally formed for mutual assistance, as the 2 feet, the hands, the eyelids, and the upper and lower rows of teeth. Opposition to each other is contrary to nature. All anger and aversion is an opposition. In our daily lives, it's easy to fall into the trap of viewing ourselves in constant competition with others. Whether striving for top grades in school or vying for a coveted leadership position in a company, we often resort to undermining others in pursuit of our goals. However, this approach inevitably leads to a life dominated by envy and resentment. Consider, instead, embracing a perspective where everyone is recognized as part of a collective intelligence. To belittle others in an attempt to elevate oneself would be short-sighted and counterproductive. Recognizing our shared humanity and inherent worth, treating each individual with respect and dignity aligns with the natural order of things. Embracing this mindset fosters harmony and mutual growth, rather than perpetuating a cycle of rivalry and discord. Seldom are any found unhappy for not observing the motions and intentions in the souls of others, but such as observe not well the motions of their own souls, or their affections, must necessarily be unhappy. This principle reminds us of the critical importance of focusing on what is within our control, particularly our own attitudes and responses. When we expend energy trying to analyze and understand the behaviors of others, it often leads to feelings of frustration and misery. We can find ourselves consumed with questioning why people act in certain ways, especially when we feel resentment towards them for their actions or successes. Many of us can easily identify someone in our lives who constantly engages in complaining or gossiping about their coworkers or peers. They seem fixated on comparing themselves to others and often appear discontent despite any successes they achieve. In truth, their time and energy would be far more effectively spent on cultivating their own mental and emotional well-being, as we cannot dictate or control the thoughts and behaviors of others. Let us, as I said, be on our guard without suspicion or enmity. Aurelius wisely counsels himself to remain vigilant against potential attacks or betrayals, yet without prematurely assuming malicious intentions in others. It's a delicate balance. He advises against excessive preoccupation with the motives of others while cautioning against naive trust that nobody intends harm. This principle resonates well in collaborative settings, such as group projects among students. Experience teaches us to anticipate the possibility that not everyone will contribute equally. However, it's equally important not to preemptively judge or harbor suspicion toward others' intentions, as doing so can disrupt teamwork and unnecessarily occupy our thoughts. In practical terms, when collaborating with a group of 3 or more individuals, statistical likelihood suggests that at least one person may not fulfill their responsibilities adequately. Being prepared for such scenarios is prudent, but maintaining an open and constructive mindset fosters harmony and efficiency within the group. When you are angry at the mistakes and wrong actions of men, for all are carried toward what appears to them their proper good. But, say you, it is not their proper good. Well, instruct them, then, and teach them better, and don't be angry with them. We can believe we're right in disagreements, but getting angry only brings more pain and doesn't persuade effectively. Others have their own beliefs, so we shouldn't judge them harshly. Instead of showing frustration, we should educate them. This quote from Aurelius reflects today's culture war. Each side believes they're right and often resort to anger and insults. It doesn't mean both sides are correct, but on social media, genuine persuasion is rare. Attempts to educate often come off as condescending, aimed more at gaining likes and validation than truly persuading. If we saw others as part of a bigger picture, we wouldn't mock them but try to guide them. Stoicism offers tools to navigate life's challenges calmly, embodying a Stoic temperament. Whatever happens in life, your goal is to stay emotionally balanced. You've strengthened your inner strength and are ready for both good and bad luck. Stoicism doesn't mean ignoring problems we can solve. It accepts that much is beyond our control. We should judge ourselves based on our efforts. When we look at big global issues, solutions often seem out of our hands. We can only do our part, act where we can, and assess our efforts. We can only change what we have power over. If you find this video helpful, please give a like, share, and subscribe for more content. Until next time.